Welcome back to British Sports Talk, everybody, the most unbiased opinion in sports. Thank you for joining the channel today, guys. Now, before we get to our Week 5 NFL game picks, the injury report will be the link in the description down below. It says injury report in all caps, and the link will be down there. Shout out to CBS. I used their link to find out what's going on through the week. They report what happened in practice for certain times. As we go along, it will be updated, but it has all the injuries, people who are questionable to play, people who are out, etc., etc. So that link will be in the description down below. Now let's get to our game picks. First, we have the Patriots at Washington. I'm going with the Patriots straight up. Washington is just terrible. They're going to be 0-5. Colt McCoy is not beating this Patriots defense. This might be the best Patriots defense that we've seen since they won those first 3 Super Bowls. Washington has no chance. If you could not beat the Giants, you do not have a chance against New England in the defense. And plus, Bill Belichick is really coaching the defense this year because, remember, there is no defensive coordinator like Matt Patricia or Brian Flores. He's actually doing most of the work for the defense. The Patriots will blow this team out. I try to give Washington a chance with their defense, but they've been surrendering 30 points, I think, per game every single game. It's over for Washington. The season is in the trash. They're 0-5 unless Dwayne Haskins comes in and Jay Gruden is fired. That's the only way that can save your season to go 8-8, possibly 7-9 or 5-11. But that's it. I'm picking New England. Next, we have the Bills at the Titans. I'm going with the Titans. Marcus Mariota is playing surprisingly well. Now, the offense, he is still limited. 7 touchdowns to 0 interceptions for the season so far. He's actually not turning the ball over. This Titans defense, to me, has a little bit more experience than the Bills. Obviously, this Titans defense, if you guys remember, they went to the playoffs. Not the season, but not this past season when the Colts and the Titans for the last game to get in the playoffs. But they were in the season before that. They were in the playoffs against the Patriots. So they have a little bit more experience. I think the Buffalo Bills defense is a young defense. And in this game, Josh Allen is still throwing a lot of interceptions. Still inaccurate in certain passes. The Tennessee Titans are looking very, very strong, even though they are 2-2 and the Bills are 3-1. I'm going to go with the Titans, and they will be 3-2. And Buffalo will be 3-2 after this game. Ravens at the Steelers. The Ravens have been down for the past 2 weeks, losing their matchup. They haven't been playing well. The defense, I think, is ranked in the low 20s, which is not good at all. Shocking that a Ravens defense. I know the Baltimore Ravens has a defense. I think that's ranked 27 in just all total. So I'm going with the Steelers. I think the Steelers are coming back strong. Their defense is starting to play strong. I believe in Mason Rudolph, and I will be making a separate video about Mason Rudolph and why I believe he eventually will be the future. So look out for that video. For me, the Steelers are going to win this game. I think the Steelers are going to shut down Lamar Jackson and the defense, and I think that because Baker Mayfield they just totally blew out that team and beat them up. I think Mason Rudolph, Juju Smith-Schuster, the Ravens defense has not been playing well. I'm going with the Steelers. Next, we have the Jets at the Eagles. I'm going with the Eagles. They don't have Sam Darnold back. He's out. I don't trust the Jets. I don't trust Adam Gase. I haven't trusted him since he was in Miami. Even before Miami, I trusted him when he was in Denver, but not Miami and not with the Jets so far. They don't have Sam Darnold. I think CJ Mosley's also out too, or he's questionable with his groin. I'm picking Philadelphia, even though Philadelphia is banged up a lot. I think the Jets are just still going to lose. They're not going to be able to win games until they get Sam Darnold back. Bears at the Raiders in London, and in this game, Khalil Mack's probably going to have 2 sacks or more. I'm going with the Bears straight up. I'm not picking the Raiders. The Raiders are a disappointment, but like I told you guys, they were going to be a disappointment until they get to Oakland. Then they'll start to improve really, really much. They have talent. Like I said in previous videos, they do have talent, but I'm still going to go with the Bears. Their defense is just amazing. Derek Carr's not going to be able to do nothing against his defense. If no other team could do anything against his defense besides Aaron Rodgers, and we know Derek Carr, even though he's good, he's no Aaron Rodgers. I'm going with the Bears straight up. It's probably going to be a defensive shutdown on the Oakland Raiders side. But for the offense, I know Chase Daniel is playing because Mitchell Trubisky hurt his left shoulder in that game against the Vikings. Chase Daniel is a good, decent backup quarterback, so he'll be able to distribute the ball and get it to where it needs to be. I'm going with the Bears. The Vikings at the Giants. I'm going with the Vikings. Kirk Cousins got called out by his wide receiver. And they try to fix it up, but no. He called you out for a reason. You haven't been playing well, Kirk Cousins. I think he bounced back. I know they're on the road in New York, but for me, the Vikings will win this game because they not only have one receiver in Adam Thielen, but they have Stephon Diggs, Dalvin Cook as a running back. They have a good tight end. So at the end of the day, this Vikings team with this defense is going to show out in New York and get back to being that Vikings team that went to the NFC Championship game. Not the team that went 9-7 last year and didn't make the playoffs. Kirk Cousins has to start playing well, unless they're going to get rid of him and they're probably going to eat that $28 million in salary, which is horrible for Minnesota, but Kirk Cousins needs to get it done. I'm going with the Vikings. Buccaneers at the Saints, I'm going with Tampa. I don't trust Teddy Bridgewater. He is a good backup quarterback, but I trust Jameis Winston in this situation. He tore up that Rams defense, and I think he's not going to tear up the Saints defense as much, but I do think that him going into New Orleans, he has something to prove. Drew Brees will be back. Teddy Bridgewater is possibly going to be a backup quarterback for the rest of his career. Jameis Winston is on a mission to prove that he can be a franchise quarterback. And by the way, I will have a video on Jameis Winston as well, detailing why a lot of people obviously be hating on him and different things like that, but why he's really a good quarterback that's never been surrounded with the right pieces early in his career to be successful. But anyway, I'm going with Tampa. Jameis Winston and Tampa going to New Orleans. They'll be 3-2, and New Orleans will be 3-2 after they lose to Jameis and the Bucs. I'm going with the Bucs. Falcons and the Titans. The Falcons have been absolutely terrible this year. They just off and on. They just have been like, you don't know what you're gonna get. They're 1-3. They're gonna go 1-4. Dan Quinn. I don't know what's going down there in Atlanta. I'm picking the Texans again this week after they disappointed me last week by losing to the Carolina Panthers when they should have won that game. But like I said, the Texans, I'm picking Texans, DeAndre Hopkins, Kenny Stills, Will Fuller. This offense needs to get going. Deshaun Watson needs to distribute the ball, and they need to protect him on the offensive line. He's getting sacked way too much. I'm going with the Texans. If they lose, their season could possibly be over if they keep continuously playing like this and not protecting Deshaun Watson, because Deshaun Watson is going to get hurt if he is not protected the way he needs to be protected. Cardinals at the Bengals. I'm going with the Cardinals. Kyler Murray will get his first win against Cincinnati. They'll go 0-5. Then the Cardinals will be 1-3-1. The Cardinals are terrible as well, but in this matchup, it's like picking the worst of two evils, even though I don't like doing that. But the Cardinals will win this game. Kyler Murray will get his first victory. If not, we have to question Cliff Kingsbury and what is really going on in Arizona. You said you didn't want to show your offense in the preseason. Preseason's over. Let's start showing this offense and start getting going. I'm going with the Cardinals in this matchup. Jaguars at the Panthers. I'm going for the Jaguars. They still have a good defense. They got a young quarterback coming up. Gardner Minshew is a really good quarterback. He's proving to be a good quarterback, and while Nick Foles may not get his job back in Jacksonville, but I'm going with Jacksonville. They have, to me, even though the Panthers do have a good defense, but like I've been telling you guys every single week, the Panthers secondary is not that great, but their defensive line and linebackers are good. However, the secondary is not good. So like I said, been saying for the past couple weeks, I think Jacksonville Jaguars have a better O-line than Carolina, and I think the Jacksonville Jaguars get it done. Jalen Ramsey's not going to play, but I still do think that they get it done. I'm going with the Jags. Broncos at the Chargers. The Broncos are 0-4, and the Chargers are 2-2. I'm going with the Chargers at home because Phillip Rivers is still a veteran. Joe Flacco, I think after this year, his career may be over as a starter. He should just retire. He made enough money. Like I said, I don't like to see guys go, whatever, but it's like, how much are you going to get out of this guy? I don't know. The Broncos offense is decent. It's not that well. I don't know. I'm just like, me sitting here, I'm just uncomfortable talking about the Broncos because they can't get it going. I don't know what it is. Phillip Lindsay's a great running back for that team, but Joe Flacco, man, come on, man. I'm going with the Chargers in this game. The Chargers are the overall better team. That's my answer. The Chargers are the better team. Packers at the Cowboys. I'm going with the Cowboys at home. Revenge game. Revenge game for Dak Prescott losing to this team in the playoffs. That should hunger this team to want to win. And I think it's going to get the job done. Aaron Rodgers is great. Devontae Adams is not playing. Aaron Rodgers still needs to be great. I told you guys in that Green Bay Packers review video. No excuses for Aaron Rodgers this year. You lose one of your receivers, guess what? You're Aaron Rodgers. You got to get it done. Now, I do know Devontae Adams, like I said, is not playing. So that should be a little bit of the criticism should be skewed back. But you still got to go out there and ball. You got to make Jimmy Graham be Jimmy Graham from New Orleans. This Packers team needs to go out and ball. But like I said, even if I'm picking the Dallas Cowboys, there's still no excuse for Aaron Rodgers if you want to play. If you pick the Packers, for me to say that. But I'm going with Dallas. There's no excuse for Dallas either. Dak Prescott got to get it done against a good defense. He has to get it done against a good team. Not the bad teams that they've been playing. He has to get it done. Ezekiel Elliott has to rush for 100 yards. He can't have 50 to 60-something yards like he's been having in this last game that they played. He did not look good against New Orleans. I'm going with the Dallas Cowboys. Colts at the Chiefs. I'm going with the Chiefs just straight up because for me, they're 4-0. They came back with that great win against Detroit, even though Patrick Mahomes didn't even throw for a touchdown in that game. The Colts, to me, like I said, they have Jacoby Brissett, who is a decent quarterback. They're 2-2. I think they're going to be 2-3, and the Chiefs are going to be 5-0. I think the Chiefs are just an overall better team. Defensively, I think Indianapolis has a little better defense, but I'm going with the Chiefs anyway because I don't think anybody on that Colts defense is going to be able to stop Patrick Mahomes. I'm going with the Chiefs. Browns at the 49ers. I'm going with the 49ers. I know they're 3-0. The Browns are 2-2, but a lot of the Browns players are still banged up. I know Jarvis Landry is cleared and ready to go, but that 49ers defense is starting to become strong, and it's very, very real. I'm going with the 49ers at home. Jimmy Garoppolo has something to prove. Last year he was hurt. This year he's been playing teams that's been that hasn't been that strong. I'm going with him against his Brown defense that has been strong except for the first week when they faced Tennessee. I'm going with the 49ers in this matchup. Jimmy Garoppolo, let's see what you can do in primetime television on Monday Night Football. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'll be back with more videos. Thank you for watching. Until next time, guys. I'm out. Peace.